Tally, for that beautiful introduction. It was wonderful to meet you this week as well. Fellow graduates, friends and families, administration, and distinguished guests. I am honored to have been selected as a student speaker for the 2015 commencement exercises for Utah State University's Southwest region. Baseball player Babe Ruth, a Yankee, right, is quoted as saying, "Never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game." He was named by ESPN as the greatest player in Major League Baseball history, partly because he hit 714 home runs in his baseball career. What we don't often hear about is that Babe Ruth also struck out 1,330 times, almost twice as often as he hit a home run. Nobody talks about his failures, only his 714 successes. As college graduates, we have faced challenges and perhaps even failures along the way. But today we celebrate our success. For the past 4 years, I've had the privilege of sitting in classrooms and cubicles next to so many dedicated students. A fellow student in one of my classes became a father for the first time during one semester. Another man in a different class would arrive just barely on time, or even a few minutes late every night for class, still dressed in dirty work clothes from being out all day earning a living for his family. A wife would often bring a plate of food to her husband during another class. I got the impression that she hadn't seen him all day, and that she wanted a hug, perhaps even more than she wanted to give him a healthy dinner. Most of us here would have been unable to earn our degrees if it meant traveling out of town for classes. I am confident that I speak for all students in applauding those who make this Southwest region a reality for us. Thank you. When I was a student at Grantsville High School, our seminary teacher, Max Mulgard, told us, "Never trade what you want most for what you want at the moment." In those moments here at college when I really wanted to quit rather than take one more math class, I had to remind myself of what I wanted most. I found an amazing tutor in Tyrell Sackett, clear back in Math 1010, and made it his Psychology 5330 thanks to the skills he helped me gain. I had to swallow my pride though. I had always been a good student with a good GPA, and it was hard for me to admit that I needed a young kid like Tyrell to help me. Once I finally got past those feelings, I turned an important corner in my education. I realized that you can't do it alone. I wish we could all tell our stories tonight, as I'm certain that none of us has had an easy road to college graduation. As I was working towards my bachelor's degree here at Utah State, my sister Tammy Searle was training for the Boston Marathon. In fact, she's on her way to Boston right now for her race on Monday. Tammy didn't start running until she was almost 40 years old. And it means a lot to me that my sister and I are both achieving our life's dreams within days of each other. Tammy and I lost our mom to breast cancer 27 years ago. And I know our mom is smiling down on both of us this week. I've often compared my college journey to Tammy's marathon training. This was especially true as I finished up the requirements for my associate's degree 26 years after I first started college. And you runners will know the significance of the number 26. I was in my first year of college at Weber State in 1986, clear back when it was still a college rather than a university, when I got a phone call from my mom. She told me over the phone that she had cancer, and I still hate answering the phone to this day. I'm always afraid it will be bad news. Mom died 5 months after that phone call, leaving behind 7 children, with me being the oldest at age 19. I didn't go back to Weber State. But I always meant to go back to college. I got married and gave birth to the 3 most amazing children in the world, and life got busy. I could barely afford diapers when the kids were little, much less college tuition. I have priceless memories of going to Little League games and dance reviews, and I wouldn't trade those years of raising my children for anything. But my own education did get put on the back burner for a few years. In 2010, my husband of 21 years asked me for a divorce. During that devastating time in my life, the quote from Brother Mogard came back to mind. Never trade what you want most for what you want in the moment. What I wanted in those moments was to curl up in a little ball and just give up. But thanks to the support of my children and many other great people, I applied for admission and financial aid and finally went back to college, starting in Nephi with the help of Kayleen Evans. My daughter Ashley was worried that even with college keeping me busy, I was sitting in my little apartment crying every night. So her husband Max showed up one day with his dad's horse trailer and my sons Zach and Tyler and moved me here to Sanpete County from Nephi to live with Ashley and Mac. Wendy Sanders made my transition from Nephi to Ephraim a seamless one, and I continued my studies here in Ephraim. During my 3rd semester of college, I met the cable guy when he hooked up the TV at Ashley and Mac's house. I ended up marrying him, and Ken has never known me as a non-student. I'm usually doing homework when his kids and grandkids come over to visit, right? We've missed motorcycle rides he wanted to take because I have to study. He's patiently walked me through my anxiety on days when I have to take a test or days when I have to speak at graduation. Thank you, Ken. I could not have done this without your love and support. And thank you to Zane, Alec, Riley, Hayden, Oakley, and Radican for understanding when I spend a lot of time in my office doing homework. I promise I won't be studying all the time from now on. One of the people who gave me the most encouragement to return to school was my beautiful grandma, Wilma Swenson Hunsaker. From the time I was a little girl, I had a grandma who would look me in the eye and remind me that I am kind, I am smart, I am important. My grandma was a professional softball player in the 1950s, and at 88 years old, she still rides her bike 3 miles a day. Thank you, Grandma. You have inspired me to never let my age be a barrier to achieving my goals. I hope that all of you leave here tonight knowing personally that your potential is limitless. What is your dream? To become a home run legend, even though you strike out half the time? Just step up to the plate. To run in the Boston Marathon, but you think it's too late to start? Go run a block today, then a mile next week, then 2 miles, then 26. Do you want to graduate from college? Find the resources that can help you. They're out there. It can be done. And above all, when the challenges seem overwhelming, never trade what you want most for what you want at the moment. Thank you.